welcome to Reviews with Love, Christmas edition. So alright, let's get into the Lifetime movie, You Make It Feel Like Christmas. So this one's got Mary Antonini, who plays Emma, and Michael Xavier, who plays Aaron. So Emma, the real premise of this movie is the fact that Emma is too busy to go back home to spend with her father for the holidays. Her mom had passed away, I think, a year prior, so she's been really standoffish with her father, especially because it just always seems like he's been too busy to really do anything with her, to really focus in on their relationship again. But other than that, she's somewhat been in avoidance mode, not wanting to go back home. So she's always saying, "Oh, I'm too busy. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it home this year for the holidays." But her childhood best friend, Aaron, he just got done with active military duty. So he finds out that she's not going to be coming back for the holidays. So he somewhat makes it his mission to try and get her to come spend Christmas with her father. And also in turn with him, because when they were kids, he was her neighbor, and he would always spend a lot of time with her and her family. So he sort of wanted that again, especially because he's been in the military for quite some time, and this was, him wanting to somewhat rebuild that connection once again. So that's the main thing. So now he's made it his real mission to try and get her back. So all in all, I will say about this one, I enjoyed it. They had a really great chemistry between Emma and Aaron and the actors themselves. So it was really good. So the previous video I mentioned that at times I was hearing, it was like a Barack Obama voice. Well, in this one, I kid you not, there were times where I was hearing Brad Pitt. Like, Aaron, Michael Xavier, was sounding like Brad Pitt to me. And I was like, and it's not like, it's like Brad Pitt while he's acting in like a movie. I'm trying to think what movie specifically would that it felt like I was hearing. Gosh, I don't know, but it was kind of like if I could see him, I don't know what he looks like. Not Brad Pitt, I know what Brad Pitt looks like. Michael Xavier, I can't recall what he looks like, if I'd ever seen his face before. The name sounds familiar, but can't recall if I'd ever seen his face. Nothing's coming up in my memory. So all I'm going off of is his voice. At times I'm like, okay, no, I know, yeah, he definitely doesn't sound like Brad Pitt there, but there were times where he was sounding like Brad Pitt. And even like, I was like imagining like the personality of Brad Pitt in like, I would say like Thelma and Louise. No, not really Thelma and Louise. I'm trying to think what other movie, like he somewhat had this kind of, but he's I think he's from, like Midwestern kind of, personality, voice, I don't know, but either way, I was getting Brad Pitt vibes all over that thing. But other than that, I think he did a great job. So, after you tend to find out that, oh, she's not so happy with him because she just felt like he completely disappeared out of her life and she was heartbroken about it. And he was still a bit mixed up because he's like, well, I wrote you letters and I never heard back from you. And she was like, what letters? I only got one letter from you. And he's like, no, I wrote you like for a whole year. And she's like, well, I don't know. I mean, the first letter I got, I was so upset that I threw it in the bin. But maybe after my parents saw how upset I was, maybe they just stopped given me the letters or never got to me or anything like that. But she was like, it still doesn't matter. You just disappeared. You just left. And you shouldn't have done that. You should have told me so I would have known. And he was like, well, I'm really sorry about that. And she later finds out, yes, it did turn out her parents had held the letters. And oh my gosh, not to ruin it or anything, when she was reading it, I will say I felt so, it really does tug the heartstrings, because I could just imagine him in the military, like all feeling so lonely. And it was just like that. It was like he felt so lonely. And here he was writing to his best friend who he actually loves, and you know, wanting to hear from her and not hearing back, like, oh, how awful is that? So I just like, you know, I didn't cry, but I certainly would have if, you know, if it was one of those days, I certainly would have cried, but I didn't, but I did feel it. I was like, I really felt his pain. So I really connected to that particular scene. And yeah, their chemistry was really good. I enjoyed their banter between the two of them, and I just, yeah, I really liked them together, and I really liked him. I liked Aaron. I liked him in this. I think I've seen something else with him in it, but I really liked him, his personality in this, but I also liked hers too. Oh, but I did mention like a blow up. There was a blow up in this one, and it felt, I'm trying to think, it was a little bit weird. It felt a little bit blown out of proportion. I can understand she was a bit ticked off about the fact that he did come in, like, just to find her, you know, to get her back to spend the holidays with her father. But at the same time, you know, it's kind of like, well, what else was he going to try to do? That, you know, you guys haven't seen each other in years, and it's, you know, you're reconnecting, and he figured out he didn't know the full story about the letters, and you didn't know the full story on his side of things. So it was just like, there was some parts I felt like, well, she could have handled it a little bit better, but that's just my opinion about that. I did feel like there were some parts that were just blown out. But at the same time, I did still enjoy the movie, and I very much was entertained by Michael Xavier playing Aaron. And oh my goodness, there's a part in it that I was just like I said, I was already fully connected to him, so I don't know if I just liked him a lot more because I kept getting Brad Pitt vibes. So it's like, oh my gosh. So there's a line he says, "You are my Christmas." And I was like, oh my goodness, that is so romantic. I'm sure it's been said before, but I don't know. That particular time, I was like, oh, yes, I am your Christmas. Like, what lovely, like, it was so lovely. I absolutely love that line. And because he was going on and he was saying something, and it was just like, but then to just say, "You are my Christmas," like, oh, like, that's how much I need you in my life, and want you in my life, because you are that for me. Anyways, yeah, so I liked it. I definitely enjoyed this one. You make it feel like Christmas. So, Lifetime, check that out for yourselves. Let me know what you think, because I enjoyed it, and it didn't help that I was also having Brad Pitt vibes, because I love Brad Pitt. So, alright, check that out for yourselves. Thank you again for listening. Until next time, take care. Bye.